Hello, everybody. How's it going? You guys get 2 days of me, one day right after the other. And today I am fortunate to have Alan as sitting right next to me. Before I introduce Alan, because I know he has a couple things he wants to talk about. Um, I just wanted to mention that although I don't trade as much as I used to, I still watch the markets when I can. And individuals from the Follow the Money group shoot me IMs with stocks that they're playing, ideas, those sort of things. So if you're interested, feel free to shout out. And if I can, I'll look at what you're looking at because it interests me. Yesterday, one of the members, I think I mentioned he shorted Google with directional puts and then put a ceiling on. Unfortunately, Google bounced in the morning, but then sold off, which helped his position. And I do believe, and I think Alan's going to get into it as well, but I do believe we're going to see another red day. If you look at how this SPX closed, we closed right at the low, which is not really a good sign. There's some, are we going to bounce? But I don't think we bounce until late next week. We are still in the Jewish holiday. So like I said, I would expect another red day. Another position that we were looking at towards lunchtime, right around this time period, was shorting Visa. And though we kind of bounced around, and I think here's where he asked about going short. And I said, well, you know what? The bulls are trying to make a stand for it, but I think we're going to end up down on the day. And sure enough, towards the end of the day, we basically sold off on Visa. So like I said, it's something that I do. I like to do. So if you want, feel free to shoot me an IM, and I'll take a look at what you're looking at. With that said, let's take it over to Alan. Alan, what are you looking at? What are you doing today?
Well, good evening. I am so amazed by what we saw just in the last couple hours. I've been amazed, never thought in my lifetime that we would go ahead and see any president require 100 million people to have a mandate to have the vaccine, or that they are risk of being terminated. And I have never seen that. That's very fascinating to me. So I know with the worker shortage everybody's having, you would have never thought that a couple months ago, but now that so many people have entered the workforce, there might have been more of a thought process to requiring this. So I see a fascinating thing, because I haven't seen much movement in Pfizer or Moderna after hours. Moderna had a phenomenal day today because they went to the single shot vaccine. But other than that, we started low, which is what I figured. I had said in the video yesterday, which I know got cut off, that we were looking for the market to start low, which is where it started. And then we tried seeing a little bit of a comeback. And we saw a lot of stocks like Google. So Google, I started short, then I went long, and then I sold my long position and about 11 o'clock. Now I use timetables. I got into Google, the 5-minute got me in the entrance to the calls. And then I got out at 11 o'clock or just before 11. Never try to go ahead and push it, because you have two main pullbacks. You got a pullback at 10 and you have another pullback at 11. So just remember that.
And just for you, those of you guys looking at the charts, those are Eastern times, which these are Central. So take these times and add an hour. So when Alan says 10 o'clock, or when Alan says 11 o'clock, it's really the 10 o'clock, which is where you see this high right here. So just so you
And
guys know.
that's a good point there. Bring that up on ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil, I was long, and you notice the same pattern. Your 10 o'clock pattern, basically, you could basically trade the 5-minute directional every single day and be out and be on your merry way at 10 o'clock. Because basically, you've got to get it in your mind. I'm going to go ahead and sell and wait to see what happens. That's just my experience. You don't have to do that. I'm just telling you that that's my experience. And it usually works very well. I think I just see nothing but negativity going into tomorrow. You still have the high holiday trade. I had lunch with two big traders at UBS today, and they're talking of liquidating all their positions and going all cash. And I don't think they're going to be anything different than anybody else. They personally said to me that at this time, you'd have to be almost an idiot to invest in the stock market because it's so overvalued. And we had a pretty good laugh of GameStop and Robinhood, and they're scratching their head why, how GameStop could be worth, $150, $200, on a stock that's basically a bankrupt company.
Wall Street bets for you. Diamond hands, bro.
I didn't realize they told me that the ones that are moving that is Reddit. I'm not familiar with that company, but they said Reddit is the one that is the who's moving that. So I don't know if that's the case. I've never heard of Reddit. So
well, and Robinhood is the one that got the individual investors into the market in the first place. Those younger 20-something traders that do spend their days on Reddit, which is kind of like a chat session kind of thing. So yeah, but yeah, I agree. I think tomorrow's a day for shorts. Before we go,
we'll see. What you have to keep in mind, and we talked about the Jewish phenomena because the UBS traders are obviously Jewish, not obviously, but that if where I live in Michigan, it has one of the highest Jewish populations outside of New York City, and it's the Detroit metro area has a very high Jewish population. So if you're in that area, generally speaking, it's probably 70 or 80% Jewish. It's that much. I don't really know for sure, but it's quite the amount. So the issue is that you're going into the Day of Atonement on Wednesday, and so for some reason we've not seen the drop I'm looking for. We've already gone down maybe 700 points since the Jewish phenomena came in. That's a lot. That really is a lot, but it usually goes at least 1,000. So, I mean, I have to think tomorrow we drop 300 points, but it might actually go into next week. So how it goes is Wednesday, Shabbat, September 15th is the Day of Atonement. And so it's the holiest day of the year for all Jews. And it's traditionally a 25-hour period of fasting and intense prayer where you can't even look at a computer. You just can't trade. You can't do anything. And it's a very holy time. So basically there's no trading. So I have to think, if not anything else, they'll pull Monday, and Tuesday. I gotta think people aren't gonna want it hold into the weekend. So I don't know. I think we're gonna have some pushback on this whole thing with the mandate to be vaccinated. I think we're playing with fire in China right now with the seas there. I think you can quote me on it. I think in the next 30 days they're going to stop an American ship. It's just, I mean, I don't know why we're sailing them through their backyard. I just don't get it. I mean, like, I don't get it. I get, want to keep this all open and stuff, but it's, I'm just saying this, you're looking for a confrontation. I just think it's going to go south on us.
Yeah.
So,
right. Yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
Before we go, one thing you mentioned yesterday was the 17th. Let's try to lead people on a good or a positive note. Do you still think this is a bullish day?
Oh, absolutely.
Coming off Yom Kippur.
Yeah. Now, did you notice, kind of a side note, is that I was looking through my notes from before, because we had Dennis Prost on yesterday. Now, Dennis is an absolute phenomenal trader. He manages portfolios for other people, and he was actually schooling us on how he actually enters and leaves trades. With that said, he said the same comment to me years ago, and it's actually in my book. And he said, well, stock market almanac says Thursday's a bullish day. And I said, no, it's holidays. And sure enough, it tried to be a bullish day. This morning we were up 100 points, but
yeah,
no, it's just not. So
yeah, one thing I follow is the ticks, and right after lunch, they were hitting negative thousands, sellers, and they were constant. I kept getting tick alerts from people selling, and we just basically dropped today.
So the 15th is Wednesday. It's going to be an interesting day because the 15th is when is another first. 15th, the market should go up 100 points. Don't think it will because it's Yom Kippur. However, the 17th, which is Friday, I'm expecting a 200 to 300 point increase. I think after the high holidays go on, that you're going to go ahead and see see people getting back into stocks. With that said, be very careful or watch it. The 17th should be an extremely bullish day. It should be like skyrocket high because all the holidays will be over, and I think that that's what happens. So I know a great trader once said to me, sell Rosh Hashanah and buy Yom Kippur.
Right, exactly, that Thursday. So towards the end of the day, Thursday, if we're down, look to buy calls for that bounce on Friday. So
yeah.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah, excellent. Sounds good. Good talking, Brian, and look for Dennis in the help us out or give us some of his views on some things. So
most definitely, yeah. Dennis is quite the wealth of knowledge as far as macroeconomics.
Yeah, he knows that now.
And in different areas of the markets like oil, energy, gold, those sort of things. So, well, thank you, and we'll chat next week.
All right, sounds good. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Alan.